flex. I need a Nike bag, give me the check. I need the money and power, respect, but I promise I'm repping the O to the dead. Hey, oof, I told them out of my way. I don't got nothing to say. Now they can't run at my pace. Yeah, they know that we ain't the same. 402, we rap the game. I told them this ain't a game.
Yo, it's Finn's Take with CB83 coming to you for another Wild Take Wednesday. What's good with y'all? I see some people in the building. The homie Mounty's in here. The homie Shake's in here. Let's get it cracking on another Wednesday night. Hey, appreciate y'all pulling up. Hey, we got 10 in the room. Hit the like on your way in. Man, what a crazy week for Dolphins. OTAs kind of wrapping up this week, man, and you got June 1st happening tomorrow. June 1st, the Miami Dolphins get some money back in the bank. Will Dalvin Cook be a Miami Dolphin?
I hope so.
Okay. Hey, I hope so, because if he is, the Miami Dolphins automatically become Super Bowl contenders with that type of running back in the backfield. Hey, it's bound to happen. He's got his Seminole teammate, his Seminole homie, Jalen Ramsey, already on the roster. Man, it's a match made in heaven, bro. It really is. He's from the crib. He loves the fish. I love the fish. You got to be in Florida to fish. You can't be in Minnesota to fish, bro. You can't be in Minnesota to fish. He loves his conch fritters, his Bahamian food. You can pull up to Conch Heaven, get some of them conch fritters. You already know what time it is. Get you a cold calic, some conch salad. It's bound to happen, people. That's all I want to talk about tonight. Dalvin to the yayo. Hey, if Dalvin gets to the Dolphins, just know this team is a problem. It's a problem, yo. It's a real problem. If he lines up in that aqua and orange, it's a problem, man. Shout out to everybody in the room so far. We got 20 in the room. Hit the like on your way in. We got some good news, man. We got some guys balling at camp. It's short, shoulder pad, shell tight, but you do want to see guys perform well. You want to see guys get after it, perform well, play well in the team periods, get after it in the 7-on-7 and the pass scale, get into the team drills in 11-on-11 and get after it. That's what you want to see. Now, we haven't heard of, much about where guys are lining up. We can't get that until training camp, but we've heard some good news coming out of camp so far. Some guys taking some days off. We had a Mike McDaniels presser today where he kind of revealed some stuff about what's going on in terms of June 1st. What's going on with Tua, how the guys are doing, why they're not practicing as much as other teams, and so on. So be sure, if you're a real Dolphin fan, you got to be connected in the community, man. You got to be in tune with what's going on. Jump in these Twitter spaces. The homie Batman, Spliff, Cruz, Lou, all of them are in the Twitter spaces throughout the day talking Miami Dolphins. You can't. There's so much stuff to talk about. So just kind of get in tune with what's going on, man. There's a lot of good news coming out of camp, and I'm looking forward to talking to you guys about it tonight, man. And if you have any questions, feel free to add some questions into the chat. I'm gonna just go through the roll call. We got 15 in the room. Be sure to hit the like for your boy real quick. Bang that like for me real quick. Bang the like. Shout out to the first homie in the room. The homie Mounty says, yo, what's good, Mounty? The homie Shake in the building says, what's good, everyone? If y'all didn't check out Traffic Jam with Shake, y'all got to go check that out. I was just on their panel over at TFTG. Hey, my man Shake killing it over there. My man Shake's killing it over there. My man 72 Fins logo says CB83, what's up? Adam Sadowski in the building. Fins up, y'all. My man Bo Jigga. Sup, Shake and Mounty. Y'all ready to learn something? Oh, there we go. We try to get them in class. CT in the building says CB. What's up, man? CT, what's cracking, man? Good to see you back in the community being active, bro. Salty Dolphins fan. Hello, like my name. Yeah, I love that name. Hey, I love that avatar too, bro. That Ramsey looked good in that 5, bro. He looked good in that 5. My man Kane's in the building, says salute CB83 and everyone. Hey, appreciate you coming through. Kane's the homie. Kane's what's cracking. Bo G says I'm not jumping on any Twitter spaces. I get enough drama here on YouTube. Oh man, hey, I thought the Twitter spaces would be toxic too, but it's more of like a laid back atmosphere, right? It's not as toxic as people think it is. Once you get into the groove of it, you just realize them cats are just having fun. It's banter, it's back and forth. It's not really serious on Twitter. It's not serious at all. Mountie in the building, Shake in the building, Bo G, Click Clack, my man Dre in the building. Dre, you up late, boy. I know you got to wake up early in the morning. Hey, I appreciate you rocking with me, bro. You don't usually rock this late, man. Yeah, man, but we're going to get into it, man. Actually, I'm not even going to talk long tonight. I honestly, right at this point, I just feel like it's the night before Christmas, and I kind of know what I'm getting for Christmas. You know, it's the night before Christmas. You know what you're getting for Christmas. You know what that big box is under the tree, right? You know Dalvin coming to Miami. Hey, I got a feeling it's happening. And hey, and we how we get down over here. Yes, sir. Hey, you already know what time it is, man. Hey, when's your birthday? Hopefully you get Dalvin for your birthday tomorrow. Hey, my birthday, I'm a June baby too. I'm on the 29th, you know, so maybe we get Dalvin for our birthdays, man. Maybe we get Dalvin for our birthdays. New present, new little shiny toy we can play with down in Miami. Mike McDaniels can be forced to kind of, Dalvin looking at him from the sideline. Hey, give me the rock, bro. Hey, give me the ball. Let me spin. Put Booby in. Let Booby spin. Come on. Give me the ball, Mike. Give me the ball, McSwaggy. That's what I want, bro. My man G says that energy narrative is a joke because I damn sure wanted Jalen Hurts in 2020. Thought I heard it all, but nope. Nah, man. Hey, it's all right, though, bro. We ain't get Jalen Hurts, but we got a Tua. We got a Tua Leroy. Hey, we got a Tua. You don't know about Tua Leroy? Come on, G. You got to know about Tua Leroy. Come on, man. Tighten up, man. We getting Dalvin. We got Tua Leroy.
All right, Leroy. Who's the one and only master?
I am.
Oh, damn. Let me go, motherfucker. Let me go.
Hey, Tua Leroy don't play, man. Y'all better get with it or get lost, bro. Tua Leroy is that dude. That dude can really toss it. He can sling the rock around the yard. We get Dalvin Cook, and all Tua has to do is distribute, bro. He could just be the point guard, bro. Steve Nash it, Jason Kidd, Chris Paul, CP3, just be the point guard. Just dish, right? Hand it off, dish again, hand it off again, dish it again, dish. It's gonna be touchdowns all over the place, bro. That's all you gotta do. Just be the point guard, just distribute. Manage the game. Don't turn the ball over. Keep you below 30 attempts a game. Keep Dalvin above 15, between 15 and 18 attempts, maybe 15 and 20. Mix it in, throw A-Chain in there, mix it in, throw Mostert in there. Man, what you see what happens, bro. You got something. You cooking with fish grease. You cooking with fish grease when you get Dalvin in there. You got a guy in the backfield who's a vet. You ain't got to worry about him. You know he gonna carry it. You know he gonna carry you down the stretch. We need that playoff back. That's one thing we don't have right now on our roster is that playoff running back down the stretch. That's what I want. I need that playoff running back. Oos, what's good? What's good with you, my boy? My man Oos Mem. What's up with you, man? My man Salty Dolphins fan says, what do you think the Dolphins record going to be next year? Man, right now I'm thinking 11 wins, right? We get Dalvin, I'm thinking 13 wins. We get Dalvin, I'm thinking 13-3. With this current roster, I'm thinking 11-5. 11-5. I think that's fair. I think either way we get into the playoffs for sure. I mean, that's a must. We're gonna get in the playoffs. But we get Dalvin, I think that gives us 2 extra games. And that 2 extra games is important because that's home field advantage, right? In the playoffs. That's what I want. I want home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And when you get home field advantage throughout the playoffs, you're just in a different position. Going on the road in the playoffs for us, going in the weather and playing, I know we're going to play well. We could play well. We could play with anybody. But being at the crib is a lot different than being on the road for a playoff game. Just imagine the energy in Miami throughout the playoffs if you get that home field advantage. It's something we haven't seen in a very, very long time. And you can expect the energy to be off the charts. You can expect the stadium to be shaking during them games, bro. Literally shaking beneath your feet. So I think with Dalvin, you're 2 more games better than that 11, and I think you're a 13-win team. No doubt. 13 wins. Because the defense is going to be, so the offensive defense at that point will be playing off of each other, right? The offense will be scoring points, and the defense will be saying, oh, these dudes can score at will. Oh, let's go get a stop. Let's get them the ball back quick. Let's get a 3 and out. Let's go get a pick. Jalen, let's go get a pick. A-Chain, get you one. X, get you one too. Oh, Chubb, get you a sack. Phillips, oh, I want a sack. Let me go get a sack. Let me go get one. It's going to be like that on defense. And then it's going to be the same way on offense. Hey, Tyreek, get you one. Oh, let me get Dalvin one. Let me get Dalvin, go get this one. Waddle, take this one. You got this one right here. I'm going to dish it to you on this one. Bro, it's going to be like that. That's what I want y'all to understand. At some point, when you get to a certain point and you got a team like that, it just becomes a little bit easier on Sundays. Right now, I expect Mike McDaniels to crank it up in practice. Practice has got to be crunk. It's got to be turned up, right? Because you got these good players. You got to force them to get outside their comfort zone in practice, and you got to push them in practice. You can't be slacking on them in practice and giving them days off and saying, you got to go. You got to get after it. Practice should be the hardest part, right? The game should come easy. So I expect Mike McDaniels to crank it up once the season comes and once we get into training camp. It's got to be intense. It's got to be drill after drill after drill, and it's got to be on point. It's got to be on point. It's the attention to detail. Like when it comes to coaching, bro, you got to have your schedule on point. You got to go from drill to drill. People got to know what they're doing, and you got to rock and roll at practice. No time left behind. No time left unspent doing what you're supposed to be doing. So that's what I expect to happen during the season. And these groups, these DBs, these wide receivers, these running backs, these linebackers, they're going to be after each other all practice. When they go to one-on-ones, it's going to be RBs versus LBs, right? When they go to one-on-ones, it's going to be receivers versus DBs. It's going to be tight ends versus safeties. Like, it's got to be intense, and that's what I'm expecting. And I expect that from a guy like Vic Fangio. He's an old school guy, and I like the balance, right? So Mike McDaniels is a new school coach, players coach, nicer, right? Nicer to his guys, building relationships. I want these guys to play hard for me, so I'm going to have a good relationship with them. Vic Fangio is a little bit more old school. He's going to maybe get in their face a little bit, challenge them, but it's a good balance. And that's what I like to see, because there may be times where Mike McDaniels is a little bit too soft on his guys, a little bit too soft. And Vic Fangio may come in and say, hey, we don't need tomorrow off. We need to practice. We need to have that day to get better. We need to sharpen some things. And there's going to be times where, hey, McDaniel says, hey, I think, hey, these guys practice hard. They played hard. Hey, let's give them a day off. And I think Vic Fangio will be like, yeah, I agree with you on that. And I think that's the balance that you need in terms of having an NFL roster and having NFL coaching staff. You need balance on it. You need to do a little bit both. You got to have good cop, bad cop. If you don't have good cop, bad cop scenarios, then you're going to struggle. If everybody's a good cop, it don't work. If everybody's a bad cop, that shit don't work either. You got to have a little bit of both when it comes to these coaching staffs. And when I say good cop, bad cop, I mean, hey, sometimes Mike McDaniels will be the nice guy. He'll be the nice guy. But there's sometimes he'll have to be the mean guy, and Vic Fangio or one of the other coordinators will have to, or one of the other coaches will say, hey, let's give him an opportunity here. Let's give him a break. So that's what I want to see. I think that balance is going to be important in terms of us getting after it. Shout out to everybody in the room. We got 25 in the room. Hit the like for your boy. I'm going to drop the link in a little bit, and we can just talk about some Miami Dolphins, talk about this June 1st situation. Is Dalvin a Dolphin? Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I'm hearing a lot. People texting me right now about stuff. But if I was to put a percentage on, I think he's a Dolphin. I think he's a Dolphin. I don't know if it happens tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure he'll be in Miami. I ain't even gonna tell y'all that I ain't even gonna tell y'all what happened, but we'll get into that another time. Bo G says he says he doesn't see Dalvin coming unless he wants $4 million for 1 year. I'm going to tell you this right now. Dalvin is not taking $4 million a year. I was just talking to a group of guys, and I don't think Dalvin is taking $4 million a year. We had this conversation, and one of the guys said, hey, I think he's going to take 3.5. I said, no way he's taking 3.5. I think he's going to be between 7 and 8 mil. Is he there? I don't know if he's going to be there. I don't know, but I think 7 to 8 million is reasonable. I think the max I paid Dalvin this year is probably between 9 and 10. I think that's the max I would pay him. But I think he's worth it. When you have 1,000-yard rusher, 4 straight seasons of 1,000 yards, you're telling me you can't pay that guy $8 to $10 million a year for that type of production? We just paid Cedric Wilson $11 million. He caught, 10 passes? I mean, you pay guys like that who don't produce, bro. That happens all the time in the NFL. Guys are going to get paid and not produce like that. That happens. So I'm not mad at Cedric Wilson. I'm just saying, hey, you can't be scared. Money don't make no money. That's it right there. Scared money. If you scared to spend money, you ain't making no money. You better be willing to put some skin in the game. Throw some skin in the game and see where it go. Salty Dolphins fans say you watching the Panthers. I'm not watching the Florida Panthers tonight. Y'all keep me updated on the score though. I'm not a big hockey fan, but I do watch the game, bro. And I used to love that NHL video game, bro. We used to get after it in that. That's how we used to get down. 72 fans logo says stay healthy, please. I'm with you, bro. We stay healthy, bro. This team is a problem, bro. Team's a problem. Duke Thomas says fix the O-line. The O-line is fixed. We'll be good. We add a couple more pieces, maybe one or two more. We good. Another Tua concussion retirement. Nah, we good. No more concussions. We done with those. We done with the concussions. CB, what you have on paper about Cook? Cook me something, CB. Hey, Cook is gonna be a Dolphin. Cook is gonna be a Dolphin, and he's gonna be walking into the locker room. When he shows up in the locker room, he's gonna walk into the locker room like this. Yeah, hey, and then we just gone. When Dalvin take off for a crazy run, or when Dalvin get a highlight, I'm gonna just throw this one up, man.
He got cooked.
Hey, you didn't go down like that, huh?
He got cooked.
He got cooked. He got Dalvin cooked, y'all. He got Dalvin cooked. Somebody say orange jersey. Yes, bro. Hey, I've seen the orange jersey get passed around. Savon Ahmed had it one day. Javon Holland, Snowman had it one day. Hey, let's Snowman killing me. Javon Holland with that playlist. You ain't had no Jeezy on the playlist. That's not right. You got to have some Snowman on the playlist. That's not right, Javon Holland. If you call yourself the Snowman, you got to have some Jeezy on your playlist. In your top 5, you got to have some Jeezy somewhere in that thing. Come on, bro. You better than that. And then I saw your man, Alan Ingold get it too. Alan Ingold's a dog, man. And Alan Ingold is really a key piece in regards to this offense. And when he went down last year, we saw our offense kind of take a step back during that time period where he was down. He had a cast on and all that stuff. Bro, we need Alec Ingold. He's a big piece of this offense. But also we got to find a way to be versatile if he does go down, because that's where I saw us take a step back last year is when he went down. G, the homie, says CB83, how do we beat the Chargers? Her Chargers are planning a big party for us. May Tua crash that party? Oh, man. Tua, hey, if teams beat us last year, like the Chargers, San Fran, I'm not worried about them teams. I think we're going to have Mike McDaniels is going to have the game plan so intact for games like that, where we just saw a team last year. We saw their personnel. Bro, this is what y'all got to understand about Mike McDaniel. Y'all see him out in the limelight at the Heat game, at the Panthers game, enjoying himself, having a good time. The amount of time he spends out is probably only a very small percentage in terms of how much he's working, bro. If you see him out at a game for a few hours, you know he's probably put in at least 8 to 10 hours in the lab getting after it, bro, because that's what coaches have to do, especially when you're offensive coach and you got a game plan and you got to like set stuff in place for, come on, bro. Mike McDaniels is in the lab, bro. It's pinky in the brain type shit, bro. He really is. Bro, y'all got to get ready, man. Hey, I'm not worried about no teams on our roster. I mean, no teams on our schedule. Whatever happens. And Cook ain't going to Buffalo. Whoever told you that, they straight lied to you, bro. They straight lied. He coming to the yayo. Let's get it, man. Caesar Diaz says, what's up? Duke Tomlinson, what's up? JR Black says, just watch Dalvin's Trainer on Reason show. He said, if all NFL team offer Cook a contract, he would choose Fins if offer is respectable. Don't have to be the highest. Ooh, that's music to my ears, boy. Hey, if y'all gonna go check out Reason show with Nick Hicks on there. I know Nick Hicks probably dropped some gems on there. Be sure to check out Reason, man. Bo G. Yeah, man. Let me catch up on these comments, man. I'm about to drop the link, bro. Let's get after it. Let's get after ABAB in here, JR Black in here, G's in here. He said, damn, just got to text Jacksonville plans to throw the bag at Cook. Okay, we're going to see. We're going to see. I think, bro, he's already working out down there in Miami. Tua's already there. Bro, you want to be in Miami. That's where your family is. You're a Conch Fritters fan. That's where they make Conch Fritters at. You would like to fish. That's where they fish at, bro. Go get you a yellowfin. Go get you a damn yellowfin. Such a badass boat too. I'm gonna show y'all what type of boat Dalvin needs to get. He needs to go get a yellowfin. He needs to get like a 32-footer, bro. 32-foot yellowfin, bro. Come on, bro. He be. Come on. You in heaven with this, man. You can't beat this, bro. It's the best of the best, bro. Go out and go fishing anytime you want to. Tell the captain to get the boat ready and slide, bro. tell the captain to get the boat ready and slide. I'm sure Dalvin wants to be in Miami, bro. After being in Minnesota, bro, Minnesota is cold. You don't want to be there in the wintertime. It's nasty. Bro, nothing there for you. Nothing there. Come on down to the Yayo. Have a good time, man. We're gonna party. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna ride this wave, go to this chip. Finish your career down here in Miami, live comfortably. It's a beautiful thing. I just dropped the link in the chat. Hit the like. You already know I ain't going long. I already been going for 30 minutes. I might go for another 30. It's late. So yeah, man, I appreciate y'all coming out, man. It's just like the night before Christmas. You just anticipating something happening, man. I think it's gonna happen. If we don't get Dalvin, we're still a winning team, guys. We still can go do it. I just feel a lot more comfortable with Dalvin in the backfield. And I know people are saying, hey, A-Chain, we had a little argument, not an argument, but a disagreement today regarding A-Chain. I think A-Chain will be a good football player. I just don't want to put that load on him and put all that responsibility on him of trying to carry this team, bro. I understand he's going to come in and make plays, but as a running back, you have to do a little bit of everything. You got to be able to pass block. That's one, right? Because if you get in the game and you can't pass block, teams are going to see that, and they're going to know you only in on rundowns or when you're touching the ball, right? In the NFL, you're not just blocking linebackers. Sometimes you have to block a defensive lineman. Sometimes you have to block a defensive end. A defensive end or a defensive tackle. There's plenty of you're going to have plenty of opportunities to get ran over slowly, right? In the NFL as a running back, you got to be able to step up and stick them dudes. You got to be able to step up and stick them. And I don't know if A-Chain is ready for that yet. I like him as a football player. I like that he's dynamic. But until the pads come on and things really get going, I'm not giving him that type of responsibility. I'm not giving that to him. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody coming through. I want to talk about, let's ask me some questions first. Like, what's a question you guys got? Feel free to throw it in the chat. I'm trying to answer some questions. I've been hearing the news about OTAs, Tua throwing some bombs, Skylar throwing some throws, Blackman struggling a little bit. I heard Noah got a pick today. All right, so Noah's making plays, and that's what I want to see, man. I want to see guys making plays, getting acclimated to the offense and the defense, because that's all you could do right now. It's just about learning the offense and defense, learning how your teammates play, learning your responsibilities and where you need to be, where you need to line up. Half the battle for them is just getting lined up and knowing what you're doing, like the mental part of it. So knowing, hey, on this play, I got to get lined up here. This is what I got to be doing. This is what I'm responsible for. This is who I block. Pass protection. Is it man pass protection? Is it slide pass protection? Is it a play action pass protection, where you're just hard selling the run, keep your hat down, stay on the line of scrimmage? There's a number of different things like they're learning right now. And this is a good thing to address. Good question, Aqua. I haven't addressed this yet. So people were making a big deal of the camera onto his helmet. Now, and I haven't addressed this. I haven't really talked about it at all. Now, guys have used cameras on their helmets in the past. I think Tombrady wore one at one point. I'm sure plenty of coaches have tried it, right? It's only as good as the information you're using it for, right? So Mike McDaniels is a coach. I think he's a very smart guy. And when I say smart, I mean like intelligent smart. He graduated from Princeton. It's an Ivy League school. Obviously a smart guy, right? So if he's taking the film and using it to teach Tua about reading the film and why and diagnosing why and concepts, I think, and that's the thing about plays too, like running plays. It's one thing to run a play, right? and just know where you're supposed to go. And like, for instance, my guys, like when I coached offensive line, like I would teach my guys like, hey, this is what you do on this play, but this is why we're doing it. This is the concept behind it. The concept behind it is, hey, we want to wall off the front side, and we want to bring our guard around that wall so we could get another blocker on that side, establish ourselves on that side, and then get our running back the ball so he can go on that side and we can attack that side of the football field. So guys would have assignments, but some guys only know their assignment, right? The best football players are the ones who knew everybody's assignment on the field, right? They know what the offensive line is doing, what the wide receivers doing, what the running backs doing, because they understand the concept of the play. Hey, why is coach calling this? He's trying to attack a certain type of area, or he's trying to attack this. So Mike McDaniels, I'm sure, is using that camera footage to just kind of educate his guys, understanding the concepts. Hey, this is why I'm calling this. This is why I want to attack this part of the field. We look at the linebackers and what they're doing. Hey, Tyreek, you should be coming underneath the linebackers as they go this way. Waddle, you should be going over the top. We should have another guy come into layer on the post. So there's a number of different ways to use the camera, but I'm sure he's using it. And it's one thing to put a camera on a helmet, but it's another thing to be able to use it in teaching. It's a teaching tool. So that's what you got to understand about the camera. It's a teaching tool for Tua, for the offense, for the offensive line. So the offensive line can now see what Tua is seeing, right? Right. So the offensive line is seeing what Tua is seeing, and they're saying, oh, that's why Mike McDaniels doesn't want me. That's why Coach McDaniels doesn't want me to give up so much ground here, because, hey, Tua's looking in this direction. He may need to step up in the pocket right here to make this throw, right? So there's a bunch of different teaching tools that come off of the camera on Tua. It's not just for Tua and reading defenses and stuff like that. It's also for, hey, the offensive line can watch it. The running backs, everybody could get an understanding of why they're doing certain things, and everybody can learn from it, right? Waddle can see his route going underneath. Hey, I should have stopped a little bit short on that. Hey, maybe they were in zone. I should have stopped in the zone and just sat down on that route, right? And you see it from Tua's perspective, right? If Tua's having a hard time seeing over the line at certain times, hey, maybe I need to get a little bit deeper on that one. There's a bunch of different ways of teaching and coaching. So I just wanted to address that. I know people kind of use it as a negative. I don't look at it like that. As long as Mike McDaniels is using that to teach the guys the right concepts and understand the right things in terms of the plays, it works perfectly. Works perfectly. G says, what's the difference between a spot throw and a touch throw? A spot throw and a touch throw. So what's a touch throw? Because a throw is a throw, right? So whether you when you're throwing the ball, you're throwing the ball, right? A spot throw, people have brought this up. The quick game, the passing game is based off of guys being in certain areas at certain times. That's just 101 and passing the football and route concepts and everything, right? You have to be at certain places at certain times in order to get the football. You have to be in certain windows. So when you are throwing the ball in those spots and windows and whatever you're throwing, you're a quarterback. That's what quarterbacks do. I mean, there's no such thing as a spot thrower, right? Now, if you're running all hitches, so you got everybody running 5 yards and stopping and turning around, and you're throwing to one of those guys that are open, that's a spot throw. It's also a touch throw because I think of a touch throw as like a touch throw is like a go ball. a go ball, a post, a corner route, something you gotta be able to put over the top. That's what I would consider a touch throw. Something you got to put over the top, or like in the middle of the field where you got to kind of put it in between two guys. But that also could be a spot throw because you're still throwing it to a guy within a window and you need to get it to him. So I think maybe you kind of have it confused as to what you're asking, but we just had this conversation about Tua and his deep balls. No homo, right? We just had that conversation about Tua and throwing the ball deep. When it comes to Tua throwing the ball deep, I agree. He did leave some balls short. I can't say that he didn't. As a football guy who watches football, who breaks down film, he did leave some balls short. You could go watch me last year having conversations with you guys and saying, hey, Tua needs to get to the point where he's overthrowing guys. He needs to get to that point. I think Tua at times puts too much touch on the ball. And when I say he puts too much touch on the ball, I feel like he's really trying to hit the guy perfectly in stride. And that's not always going to be the case when you're an NFL quarterback. You're not always going to be able to put the ball perfectly at the perfect placement. You can't always be super accurate, especially when you're throwing the deep ball. I think Tua needs to, at sometimes, just let it go. And when I say let it go, that means there's no touch. There's no none of that. There's just, hey, I'm throwing the ball up. It's going to be so far that my receiver is going to have to run it down. If he can't run it down, it's going to go out of bounds or he's not going to catch it. But the defender there's no way in hell the defender is going to be able to get it. So when it comes to that, when it comes to touching, like putting touch on the ball, I feel like Tua does put too much touch on the ball at times. Right? When he's throwing those deep balls, bro, let it go. Let it go. Throw it up and let the guy run underneath it. Because when you have guys like Tyreek and Waddle and those guys on post and go routes, you don't need to put touch on it. You just got to throw it up and let them run it down because that's what they do. They're speed guys. You throw it up and let them run it down. But that's a good question. I liked the question. Let's see who else we got. My man S. Harrison here says, let's be real. The fake deacon in the pack made a big deal. Everybody in here right now, man. Hey, let me go ahead and bring the homies up. Mountie Fins and Anthony Manzano. What's good? What's up with y'all, fellas?
Yo, CB, hold on. Before we even go any further, some of these individuals need to stop with this spot throwing bullshit. He's throwing to an open man. That's a spot.
That's a spot.
Like, god damn. People, I swear. He's a spot thrower. He's throwing to an open guy. What the fuck? That's
bro,
a spot.
I don't get it. I think, but see, it's not their fault though. This is my thing too. It's not really their fault because they don't understand. They haven't been taught, right? So if you haven't been taught like what a passing game is and what, how it works and stuff like that, you're not going to understand. So I don't really, sometimes some of these guys are just listening to people on YouTube, and you can't always just listen and just regurgitate what people say. You got to kind of understand it too, or go learn for yourself. If there's a lot of film breakdowns on Tua and him throwing in rhythm to spots, that doesn't make you a spot thrower though. Go ahead, Tony. What's good?
No, and CB, this is what I noticed with Tua last year. Honestly, for me, if he threw the ball deep, the reason why he threw some of those interceptions too is because he tends to throw it with a little bit too much air underneath the ball instead of throwing it with zip, because that's what gets you intercepted. When you have so much air underneath the ball that the defensive back has enough time to react and make the interception. That's what I noticed with Tua last year, that he would not overthrow the ball, but put too much. There's such thing as putting too much touch and too much air underneath the ball to where the DB has enough time to react and get the interception. That's where that's where the deep ball interceptions came from, where he would throw too much air put too much air underneath the ball. Do you agree with me?
We'll see.
I
am I being
got a point
ignorant?
to that. I got to
It's
respond to that.
yeah. It's hard for it's hard for me to agree with that because this is the thing. I think Tua's interceptions last year, and I'm trying to remember them. Like I know in Green Bay, his interceptions were just basically throwing to areas, and there was a guy in the area. There was nothing. It had nothing to do with the ball hanging up in the air.
I'm
No.
talking about early in the season.
So early in the season, like which picks in particular are you talking about? Because there weren't many.
The interceptions again. He threw interceptions against the game against the Bengals. He threw interceptions where the balls has a little bit too much air underneath the ball, and that's where the DB got enough time to react and before the ball came down.
I think where Tua is. I'm gonna tell you. Where he gets interceptions is when he's high over the middle, and I think that's always been his issue. If he's a little high over the middle, if that ball sails on him a little bit, then it's gonna get picks. Go ahead.
See what I've been trying to explain to people in the spaces. See, the thing is, Tua is not a tall guy. His trajectory, if he throws it with zip on, the trajectory of the ball is gonna go flatter. So people are gonna be able to get their hand on the ball. People are gonna be able to tip the ball, and he's only 6 feet tall. See, so he's gotta put trajectory. He's got to put some arc on it, and then we don't have big receivers to where if he throws it flatter, that they can go up and get it 50-50 guy or something like that. Waddle and Tyreek are not really they can, but they don't. You don't want them necessarily doing that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
No, but you understand where I'm coming from, Mountie? Where I'm saying that sometimes he would is there such thing as putting too much touch on the ball where that would cause, or am I?
Sometimes I think that's the case. Sometimes I said it on his deep ball. He puts too much touch on it. Now there's sometimes where it's over the middle, and he just misses high. And when he misses high on those over the middle passes, they typically get picked or somebody is dropping an interception.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. They're when he's got to throw it with some velocity, they're flat. See, he's got to compensate for his height. And see, that's why over 75 or 80% of his snaps are taken out of the shotgun or the pistol or something.
So he can see a little bit better.
Yeah.
And I think Tua needs more stuff in his face too. I feel like Mike McDaniels kind of got comfortable with, taking those long shots, but I think he needs more over the middle in his face, more stuff underneath. He needs more easy stuff. Like I feel like he needs more bubble screens, more running back screens. Like those are easy plays for him to hit and be accurate on. We've seen him make all the throws though, Tony. Haven't we seen him make all the throws?
Yeah, he's made all the throws, but sometimes he overcompensates for he overcompensates sometimes because of what Mountie says. He's short. So he has to overcompensate sometimes because he can't see over the line and stuff like that. It's
he's not
compensation that worries me.
He's not Josh Allen. I mean, I'm
not saying that. I'm not saying that.
6'5", 6'4". So his trajectory, he can throw a rainbow, but throw that shit fucking 30, 40, 50 miles an hour. We got enough zip on that shit to get it down there.
I mean, and I looking at his passes, I think he has enough zip. And I can pull up some, I can pull up a little bit and watch.
Am I being too harsh, or do you think that's a legitimate criticism that I can have with him?
I mean, when you say I think it's a little harsh. How many interceptions did he have total last year, Tony?
8. I think
8 interceptions, but
8.
I think 8.
No. He had 12 interceptions. 12 interceptions
last year. This season?
Yes, I think it was.
I think it was 25. He had 25 touchdowns and 8 picks. I think.
Let's go look
I'm
it up.
almost
'cause
certain.
wanna-
I think
I'll
it
look
was
it up.
double digit. No, I think it was double digits, Mountie, because at the end of the season, I think the end of the season is what affected him the most.
He had 8 picks, 25
Okay,
touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
Yeah, I
Okay,
thought
yeah.
it was 8.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
and 3 of those were in one game, right? Did he have another bad game with multiple interceptions? San Francisco, he had 2.
He threw one. He threw 2.
I know.
That's
not the
5.
Chargers game, the Bengals game. The Bengals game, he threw 2 interceptions.
Yep, the Bengals game. Did he throw 2? I think he threw 2. And did he throw 2 in the Ravens game too?
No, he only threw one.
Yeah. The Ravens game. Yeah. So there's his interceptions.
Yeah, I don't think he had a lot, man. I mean,
His numbers were good.
His numbers were a lot better. 25 and 8. He was below 10. I mean, he only played 5. He missed 5 games, which I think he would have been closer
if he had
to
2 and 3. Wouldn't that be more though? More than 8 interceptions? Are we miscounting?
It's 1 in the Bengals game. Only 1 in the Bengals game.
Okay, it was 2 in the Ravens game, 1 in the Bengals. Okay.
Yeah,
But
and
the
it may have been 1 in the Ravens game.
I think
Joker was good. Man, these cats be getting up here and not saying nothing.
I think what it is this. I think we have a pretty headsy, witty coach in Mike McDaniel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can call him some things. You can call him prideful. You can call him this. You can call him that. But one thing you can't call him is a dumbass. And
You can't call him dummy.
Yeah. He's smart as fuck. He knows how to run this offense and see what it is he knows what Tua can do and what he can do best. And his route combination, his route concepts are tailored to what Tua throws best and accurately.
Yeah. No, and Mountie, I've said this multiple times. Honestly, this is where having too many. To me, I understand why he wants it to be seamless, that the coordinators and the offensive position coaches understand the system. But for me, this is where I want to see. To be honest, I want him to maybe move on from a guy like what's his name, the offense coordinators, Frank Smith, and maybe bring in a guy like Cliff Kingsbury and mix the West Coast offense with his air raid and stuff like that.
But see, that's the thing. Tua he's not that type of quarterback though.
Air raid is only for quarterbacks like a Justin Herbert or a
Allen. Like you're going to be throwing a lot of deep 7s and 9-ball like shit like that. And Tua, that's not really his strength. He doesn't. We got to keep him. Look. I'm gonna tell you right now, and I tell all of the big armchair quarterbacks that we have in the spaces. Oh well, he can't throw 60-yard. Look, first of all, football is played in 10-yard arguments, B.
Yeah,
in 10-yard increments. So long you have to be, and the West Coast is not designed to be big, a lot of deep routes.
Yeah, and I think this offense is meant to be methodical, like, and it's also meant to take your shots where you can. But the play action is meant to like hurt teams. Yeah, and I think we only saw a glimpse of what it could be, and I think it's going to open up a lot more this season, especially if we get a guy like Dalvin Cook.
But CB, this is where for me, this is where I get in arguments with our fan base in general, not just I'm in the middle. Like I've always said, I don't hate the kid. I'm in the middle. I want to see what he can do.
Right.
But what I said with McDaniel, I think our fan base in general gave him the guru title a little bit too soon and stuff like that. For me,
but I mean, and I'm gonna push back on that a little bit. I don't think everybody's calling him a guru, right? I think he's a really good offensive mind, and I think people will call you that when they figure, hey, he's doing something offensively that we haven't seen before. In his first year in this offense, he had a top 10 offense. Yeah. Like you don't see many rookie head coaches have a top 10 offense in their first year unless they have a superior quarterback who's kind of running the helm, like a Aaron Rodgers, a Tom.
Oh yeah,
Brady, or somebody
was it
like
Nathaniel? Didn't Nathaniel Hackett have a top 10 offense as a first year coach?
And who
with
who?
Green
with
Bay?
Derek Carr?
With the
Derek
Raiders?
Carr?
Yeah. Didn't Nathaniel Hackett have a top 10 offense his first year as the Raiders head coach?
I don't know.
I
You
don't
would
know.
have to,
I don't have that information.
I don't have it either. But I mean, when you look at what Mike McDaniel did with having a roller coaster of QBs, a QB carousel, and still finishing top 6, Tony. Now, just imagine if Tua's healthy. Like, he's probably top 3. Do you agree or no?
Yes, but to me, the reason why I'm holding back on calling him a guru in general is because that title is only. I think me and you talked about this, and Mounty's probably going to agree with me. The only way I give McDaniel that title is if he evolves the West Coast offense instead of keeping it the same and stuff like that.
But you don't have to. Being a guru doesn't mean you're transcending offense. It just means you're good at what you do, Tony. I think you're overthinking it a little bit.
And this is another conversation that we had in the spaces. I said, look, first of all, you can't even begin to call Mike McDaniels a guru, and this is his first year. Let him do it for 5 years. Let him do it for 5 years, like Andy Reid or somebody like that. Do it for sustainment, so
consistency. You get the guru title when you're consistent and you do it year in and year out.
No, but I understand what you're saying. The guru title is earned by consistency, but also I thought the guru title is earned by a person who evolves that specific offense they're running too.
Yeah, and I think what you'll see is you'll see Mike McDaniels add some wrinkles to his offense that we haven't seen. That we didn't see last year for sure. I mean, it's gonna happen, man. I think you just gotta wait. It's a wait and see approach, bro. Like, we have plenty of time for Mike McDaniels to come into his own, and I expect this offense to be explosive next year, bro. I mean, how can you not be explosive?
Did Andy Reid turn Alex Smith into a Pro Bowler?
Yes.
See, that's what I'm saying. A backup quarterback, a journeyman quarterback, and you can turn him into a Pro Bowl. See, this is what if Mike McDaniel can do this for Tua, which I believe he can.
Mounty, I have to push back. Alex Smith was drafted number 1.
But come
Alex
on,
but everybody look, but Tony,
but everybody
that's
thought he was
drafted number 1 is don't turn out to be.
Yeah. Come on, Tony, you know that. You know that.
No, I know that, but
you could be drafted number 1 and be a bust.
I understand. He was a good quarterback. He wasn't a great quarterback. He underachieved based on his draft status.
I get what you're saying, but let's keep this into consideration. A lot of people in this community, Dolphin fans, thought Tua did not have it, did not have enough to get the job done, did not have enough to be a starting quarterback in this league. And when he came in and he played last year, we saw he surpassed people's expectations. Now, I knew from the get-go, hey, if Tua had an offensive line, if he had a better system, better coaches around him, he would be a good quarterback. But there's a lot of people in this community who said, hey, no, even with that, he's still going to be below average, not good enough. Tony, you were one of those people. So
I'm starting to change my mind.
Right. You're starting to change your mind because Mike McDaniels is showing you what Tua can do in his system. That's why you're changing
and for me,
mind.
this is where to me, with Tua specifically, this is where I have him ranked in the quarterbacks. He's gonna be a low top 10, maybe in the mid-20, low top 10 quarterback. He's not gonna be in the top 5 and stuff like that. But
I agree. I think Tua's around, but I think Tua right now is between 8 and 10. And I think he has the potential to be top 5 if he's healthy.
No, for me, I have him between.
You have him like teens, right? Teens and into the 20?
No, I have him from 10 to 20. around that area.
Where from
Damn,
10 to 20? Is
Tony.
it 10 to 15, 10 to 15, or 15 to 20? Which one is it?
10 and 15. 10 and 15.
Damn,
Okay,
Tony,
so-
you disrespectful.
I mean,
No, because of for me, it's more about the injuries. That's why it's more about the injuries for me. Before he needs to stay healthy a whole season before I give him the top 10 and stuff like that. Is that a fair assessment for me?
That's a fair assessment. I could agree with that. I just
But
have a problem.
but Tony, do you know Tua had more? All right, okay. Do you know he finished the season with 25 touchdowns?
Yes.
Do you know at the end of before he got hurt, or let me see how do I best say that? He was on trajectory to throw 35, 40 touchdowns this year.
Yes.
Had he not gotten hurt, because he was averaging at least 2 to 3 a game.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, look, he was on his way. The only thing he needs to do is just stay healthy. And then you get people, they want to poke fun at him because he got a camera on his helmet. Well, I sent out CB, you see my tweet I tweeted out? With Brady with his fucking camera on the side of his helmet?
Yeah. I did see that.
Yeah. Fucking, dude, they need to stop, man. They need to stop. Yeah. Anything, look, Mike McDaniel and Tua came up, it's a training aid to help him be more proficient and sufficient. That's all. It's a training aid.
Bro, that's what it should be.
People need to stop.
It should be a teaching tool. It shouldn't be something.
So Mountie and CB, I have a question for you guys. With Tua specifically, was there times in the season during the season that you guys felt that he was overthinking? No, take away the injuries. Was there games that you guys felt he overthought, was overthinking, and that was the reason why he either didn't perform as well, or
I do.
Well,
so
I
I don't say it was over. I don't know if it's overthinking or trying to. But see, I
overcompensate.
Well, Tony, I'll tell you this, the San Francisco game.
I'm gonna go after you. I'll go after you, man.
The San Francisco game, when you watch the all 22, now mind you, there were guys coming open, right? But again, who was D'Amico Ryans? Who was he a disciple of?
Vic Fangio.
Exactly. So this is exactly, see, he was confusing Tua. He was basically, because they have a good pass rush, disguising coverages to make it look like their guys are not open. But see, by the time they come open, Nick Bosa's in his ass already.
And the same thing with the Chargers game too. Don't forget
and in those games, I feel like I wouldn't say he was overcompensating, but I think he's trying to throw himself into a rhythm, right? And Mike McDaniels isn't helping him by running the ball, right? Mm-hmm. So he's really having to force it, and he's just not connecting. And I think it's okay for quarterbacks to have off games. I think it's a natural thing. The good teams find a way when your quarterback is off to run the ball or figure out a way to get him back into a rhythm quickly. And I feel like Mike McDaniels didn't do that. And I feel like that's the difference between us winning some games and losing some games, is not having a back we can count on down the stretch when Tua's not on his A game.
Yeah, and this is where
you need to be able to rely. You need to be able to rely on a guy when Tua's not on his A game.
And this is why Mountie, and this is why CB and Mountie and CB, I said this on your previous stream. For me, this is where I'm saying specifically, I believe that A-Chain starts the season as our number one back, because I really don't trust Moser or Wilson to stay healthy. Really, I don't trust him.
I don't see that at all. I don't see that at all.
Yeah, you can't. You can't throw a rookie in there and say he's going to be
Nick Chubb
the guy.
did it. He was a third round draft pick.
But Nick Chubb comes from
the SEC though.
But both of them SEC. But what I'm telling you is that Nick Chubb is a bigger dude too. He has an NFL body. His body was ready for the NFL when he came in. So it's a different story. So I think, look, A-Chain will get some carries. He will have an opportunity to show what he can do in those carries. But he's not going to come out and be the guy right away. I think
and I think we're underestimating A-Chain's strength though, because I understand his upper body is a little bit. It's not as thick, but when you look at his legs, he has high jumper legs. His legs are like Marshawn Lynch, where they're built like a tree trunk and stuff like that. So I think he can handle. That's what I'm saying. Based on his lower body, I think he can handle the punishment between the tackles.
I think he's going to. We're probably going to see, at least from the beginning of the season. We may see him sparingly, but I think he's going to be instrumental in the punt, in the kicking game, punt return, kick return. Because I tell you what, because eventually, watch, he fuck around and take one back or two, they're not going to kick it to him.
You're right. And I think this is a good comment by William Perry. He says, I think McDaniel really wanted the receivers and Tua to kind of show out. That's why he stuck with the pass. You got to be balanced in this game, though. You do got to be balanced. And I don't know if it's necessarily that he wanted them to show out. I think our O-line was constantly shuffling, right? So our O-line is shuffling. They don't know who's in. We got Shell in. We got different guys in. I don't know if he trusted those guys to really run the ball, like to get it done in the run game. I don't know if he trusted them.
See this comment, I kind of I understand we want it to be balanced, but with the way I understand people don't want to hear this in our fan base, but in general, the league is moving away from a traditional running game. They're using the short passing game as the running game. I understand people don't want to hear that. The traditional run between only a couple of teams are doing that. A few teams are doing that.
But I felt like, Tony, we were at our best when we were running the ball well. And I think Tua operated, the offense operated at their best.
And when you look at let me bring up the Super Bowl. The two teams that won the team that won the Super Bowl and the team that was the runner-up. The Eagles really didn't have a traditional running game except for Jalen Hurts. And what semblance of a running game did the Chiefs have? Really, they didn't really have a great running game.
No, they did. Like in the Super Bowl, they ran the ball really well. Like, and I think, and
I'm talking about throughout the season.
I know it, right? I get what you're saying, but I'm saying like in the playoff teams find a way to run the football. I feel like if you're deep in the playoffs, you got to find a way to run the football. I think if Josh Allen's team, if the Buffalo Bills had a solid run game that they could count on at times where they needed it, they would be a lot better football team. But instead, they keep putting their hands into keep putting the ball in their hands into Josh Allen, and he's constantly making mistakes late game or figuring out a way to like lose the game. You still have to find a way to run the ball, and you see that in the playoffs. You've seen it with the Buffalo Bills year after year. They keep putting the ball, they keep putting it on his shoulders, and he can't carry them. He can't do it by himself, even if he's running the ball. You got to find a run game that's effective. You do. You just got to. You got to have it. It's like the necessary evil. Like you got.
Yeah, it's a necessary evil, but in general, the league is transitioning away from that running game.
I don't think so. I think the league is going back towards the running game, if anything. I think that's where we're trending is, hey, leaving all this pass happy stuff alone and getting back to the era where you run the football and you're effective and you use the play action to counter off of that. I think that's where we are. But man, I'm about to wrap this one up. Hey guys, give me your final takes, man. I appreciate you guys coming on too. I appreciate you, Tony. Appreciate you, Mountie. Appreciate everybody in the chat too.
My final take, honestly, I'm gonna be realistic this season. This is how I see us winning. I see us going 11-5. To be honest, I think we're the second team in. Until we unseat Buffalo.
We're unseating Buffalo this year. We're unseating Buffalo this year. Don't worry.
No. Until I see it, I don't believe it. Until I see it.
We beat them this year though, Anthony, and we played them tough in the playoffs.
No, I understand we beat them, but I'm saying until it's a consistent thing with us with Buffalo where when
I get it.
I want to
get
see consistency with Buffalo. That's what I'm saying. Until we unseat Buffalo, we're the number 2 team in the division.
Hey, we get Dalvin. Hey, it's happening.
I don't think
even
Dalvin's
worry.
happening. I think he's going to Dallas.
If we get Dalvin, it's happening. Hey,
I think Dalvin's going to Dallas.
Hey, no.
He got cooked.
Adrian, you didn't go down like that, huh?
He got cooked.
It's happening. It's happening, man. Appreciate you coming on. Tony.
Bye.
Bro, have a good one. Johnny, man, what you got for me? Final take, bro.
Man, listen, I see us winning at least. I see us 12-4.
12-4. That's with Dalvin or without Dalvin?
That's without Dalvin. Listen, Dalvin is a good to have. We don't need him. Long as considering health with Jeff Wilson Jr. and Mostert.
That bothers me. See, that bothers me.
Huh?
That bothers me though. The health situation with the running back scares me a little bit. We got to the point where we had Ahmed getting carries in Buffalo, and like, you're not telling me if we had a good running back in that game. Like, Mostert went down in that game, and if we could have continued to run the ball, like, come on now, we might have been in a different situation.
Well, I've always said that. Had we ran the ball consistently, we beat Buffalo 3 times.
Right. So when we look at it, it's like, damn, like, do we really want to go through that again with the same backfield in a rookie? I don't know if I feel comfortable.
But if we get
that.
ask yourself, if we get Dalvin Cook, who's the odd man out? Because
it don't matter. One of y'all got to get going. It don't even matter.
Jeff Wilson.
Jeff Wilson. Yeah, Jeff Wilson or Ahmed or Gaskins or all of them.
I don't think Gaskins gonna make the team.
Yeah, I can see that being the case. I just want to have Dalvin groom A-Chain for the next couple years. And then he can start carrying the load from there. That's what I want. And Mostert and Jeff Wilson were always just stopgaps for this team anyways. Like, let's be real. They were brought in to be stopgaps until we got running backs in the building. Now we have the opportunity to get running backs in the building. Is shit gonna change? It's got to. We going for a Super Bowl. We ain't trying to get to the playoffs. The playoffs, we did that. Been there, done that. Now we trying to get to the Super Bowl. So I think you got to go get the big dogs. Go get the big guns, and let's get after.
I'm not really opposed to it. I'm just thinking that he would be nice to have, but barring injuries. But look, we got running backs that get injured. 1 and 2 get injured. So, and that's been their story for their career.
Yep, it's been the story, man. So hopefully the Dolphins can make something happen. We'll see what happens, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on, bro. It's always
as
love.
always, salute.
Salute, bro. Later. Hey, man, it's Finsay with CB83. Hey, back to you. Hey, another Wild Take Wednesday. Hey, will Dalvin Cook be a Miami Dolphin tomorrow?
I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope so. I really do hope so. You know how we going, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all coming through. I appreciate all the love in the chat. Bo G, Newfoundland, CCRR, G, the homie Dre, the homie S. Harris, William Perry, Mudbone in this thing. I appreciate all y'all boys coming through. All the ladies too. It's all love. Man, y'all the fam. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Send it out, turn on notifications, do all that good stuff. Love y'all. Peace. Audi. Dalvin to Miami.
Came from the bottom, that's foreign. I swear that I'm up for the sun in the morning. Oof, hey, I gotta flex. I need a Nike bag, give me the check. I need the money and power, respect, but I promise I'm repping the O to the dead. Hey, oof, I told him to say. Now they can't run